Hi, my name is Sam Leaftrod, and this is my teaching demonstration for my Intro to Education class with Kelsey Deklerk. The activity that I'll be doing today is titled Ukrainian Introductions, Interviewing Your Classmate, and the Utah core standard that I'll be covering is the World Language Learning Indicator NLIC1, I Can Greet My Peers. The purpose of this demonstration is for students to learn a few Ukrainian phrases as well as demonstrate their understanding of those Ukrainian phrases and their English translations. So this activity will be taking place after we have given the students a syllabus, discussed the syllabus, and also had students introduce themselves a little bit so that the class has kind of gotten into the motion of starting the semester. This lesson will be the first lesson of the semester, so let's get started. All right, so now that we've introduced ourselves, it's nice to meet you all. We're going to be starting our very first lesson today and your very first step in your Ukrainian journey. If you guys have any notebooks, it would be great to get those out now. And if you don't have any, I did put some notebook paper at the front of your tables, as you can see. If you want, you can go ahead and grab one. Actually, just go ahead and grab one. You don't have a choice. You're grabbing one. grab a piece of paper. And we're going to go ahead and write different Ukrainian phrases that I'm going to teach you guys today. I'm going to teach you guys some Ukrainian introduction phrases. And I will be writing these on the board, so you guys will want to copy down the Ukrainian word that I'll put it in the top left, and then there will be the English translation. I will also be covering the phonetic spelling of the Ukrainian word, and I will explain a little bit more about what phonetic spelling is in just a moment. So, let's start your very first step in your Ukrainian journey. Hope you guys are ready. You guys got all your papers out and everything? Okay, awesome. So, the first phrase we're going to teach you today, number one, is Привіт. Привіт. Now, I'll teach you guys how to read the Ukrainian alphabet as well. As time goes on through the next 2 weeks, we're going to be covering the Ukrainian alphabet, and you guys will be able to pronounce and understand, at least understand the sounds of the Ukrainian language and be able to identify different words and spell out different words based on just hearing them. The Ukrainian language is a very phonetic language, so you guys, I will also explain what that means later, but you guys will be able to identify these words very easily as time goes on, especially words like Привіт. You will see this one a lot. So, Привіт. This means hello. In English, just hello. I'll just put hello. So that is the English translation. I'll put English here and put Ukrainian here. And then I will also have the phonetic spelling below. So what phonetic spelling is, if you guys did not know, let's take an English word, for example, and then use the English phonetic spelling to explain it, so that you guys can be familiar with how to apply it to a Ukrainian word. So, let's take the word blue, for example. So the word blue, if you just pronounced every individual letter the way that they typically are introduced to people in individual sounds, you might pronounce it as b, l, u, e, or b, l, e, depending on the person. So if you were a foreign language learner learning English for the first time, this concept of the silent E making the U sound different would potentially be something that would be challenging for English learners to comprehend or grasp right away. But one way that you could teach them how to pronounce the word right away, if they at least understand some more basic English letter rules, would be to spell it out in a way that is very phonetically consistent. So if you, for instance, wrote out blue with B-L-O-O with the sounds b, l, oo, assuming that they understand the double O makes the oo sound, then you could explain to them either with that, or maybe if you used the letter U, you could basically teach them how to say the word without actually being able to read the individual letters of the word. So that is important when you're very first starting Ukrainian and you might not understand how to read every individual letter. And that goes for any other language. It is very useful at times to have these phonetic spellings so that you can just know how to pronounce them at least. And that can also help you learn the different rules a little bit better if you recognize patterns in those rules. So that is a brief explanation of phonetic spelling, but I will do that phonetic spelling for the word privit. So we're gonna put a little ph for phonetic, and then I'm going to write privit. So these are English letters that you would pronounce as if you just read this like it was an English word. So if you pronounced it privit, so privit, and you could use that for these different Ukrainian words or phrases, and eventually, as I said, we won't really need to use those later, but it is good for now, especially when you're learning these first few phrases. So privit, and you want to write these in your notes as well. So privit, we're going to go ahead and pronounce these out loud. So for this procedure, I will start by saying pre, and you guys will repeat back to me when I point to you. So I'll say pre, right? And then I'll say vit. Awesome. So just basically whenever I point at it and point at you guys, you repeat back to me, right? Awesome. So let's try it again. Pre, vit. Awesome. Great. You guys are doing great. Awesome. So that's your very first Ukrainian word that you're learning. So remember this word. This is an important word. Learning how to say hello to people is a really good way to connect to people and really be able to start making friends or even just start conversations with people. It's very nice, and it's a respectful way to address people that are if you're in Ukraine or if you're talking to a Ukrainian, it can be a very respectful way to address them. So, privit. Repeat one more time with me. Privit. Let's put it together. Privit. One more time. Privit. Awesome. Молодец. Good job. Okay. So, that's the first phrase we're teaching you today. The second phrase we're going to be going over is a very important phrase in which is good informational knowledge for the person you're speaking to. So, the phrase I'm going to teach you is Мене звати blank. So, what kind of information do you all think would be good information to present to somebody when you've met them for the first time? Yeah, you. Yeah, your name. Perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're talking about here. So, presenting your name to somebody is really good. If you want people to become more friendly with you, if you maybe are going to see these people again, it is polite and also it's a good way to make friends when you introduce yourself and introduce your name. So, what this phrase means in English, so this is Ukrainian. In English, in English, I'll actually write that to the side here. So in English, that phrase means my name is, and then the blank would be you filling in your name in the blank there. So my name is Mr. Leaptrot. So I could put Mr. L. In Ukrainian, I would put Pan L. Or actually Pan, that's English. Pan L with the Ukrainian L. So, Мене звати Pan L. Or just Мене звати. So, the phonetic spelling of that, I will put that here for you guys so it'll be a little bit easier for you to pronounce. Мене звати. Мене звати. Oh, wait, that is the Ukrainian the Ukrainian word. I'm getting mixed up here. Мене звати. Звати blank. So, the phonetic spelling of this you would want to pronounce using English letters. Мене звати. So repeat the syllables after me when I point to you, okay? Me, ne, zva. Try one more time. Zva. Right? Te. Mene. Zva. Te. Zvate. Мене звати. All right, one more time. Let's try one more time. Мене звати. Awesome. Good job. You guys are doing really good. That was really good. You guys are doing better than I did when I started. So, мене звати. And then you would put your name in here. So, Daniel, how would you say that? How would you say this phrase, but include your name at the end of that? That's right. Мене звати Daniel, right? Мене звати Daniel. Perfect. So, that is the phrase мене звати. All right, does anybody have any questions about any of this? Okay, awesome. All right, so the third phrase we're going to write today, this is going to be the last one I'm going to teach you today since our class is a little bit short this evening, but I am going to teach you the third phrase, which is a little bit of a tough one, but you guys will be able to pronounce it. We're just going to work through it slowly. It is do pobачення. Do pobачення. Here, I'm gonna write that a little bit better. Do pobачення. Actually, I will leave out the punctuation. So, do pobачення. Do pobачення. Do pobачення. Okay. So, do pobачення. So this phrase in English, this is the Ukrainian phrase. In English, this means goodbye. Goodbye. So this is one way that you can say goodbye. There are lots of different ways that you can say hello and goodbye and etc. in Ukrainian, but this is one of the most commonly used ways to say goodbye to a Ukrainian. So, do pobачення. And the phonetic spelling of do pobачення is going to be do pobачення. So, do pobачення. So, repeat these syllables after me, okay? Do po ba chen ya. Do po ba chen ya. Dopo ba chen ya. Chenya. Ba chenya. Awesome. You guys are doing really good. All right, let's try to put this all together. Just repeat this after me. Do po ba chen ya. All right. Do you think we should go a little bit slower? Just a little bit slower? Okay. No, that's cool. All right. Do po ba chen ya. Awesome. Awesome. Let's try a little bit faster, okay? Do pobачення. Do pobачення. Awesome. All right. Let's try this one more time all together. Let's go real fast, okay? Do pobачення. All right, one more time. Do pobачення. Awesome. Молодец, молодец. All right. So, do pobачення. You guys have this in your notebooks, right? You guys have these phrases. If not, if you don't have the other past phrases that we did write, I will make sure to be writing it on the board here in a moment. So, these are the three phrases that we're going to be using today. So, we will be getting together in groups of 2 with the partner next to you, and you are going to be interviewing your classmate. I'm going to be passing out these papers here, and these papers will have the different phrases on the paper as well as responses that you will need to write down from the person you're interviewing. So basically, you are going to be an investigator, and you are going to use these phrases and record what your partner responds back to you with these phrases. So you are going to use the Ukrainian phrases. Your partner is going to respond in English. So, and after that, your partner and you are going to then switch roles, and your partner will interview you. So I will go over that on the board so that you guys can know how to go through the assignment, and then you will have 7 minutes to discuss the different topics and prompts that I give you. They're just going to be the different phrases that we went over. And then we will discuss a little bit after class about your responses. So I'll pass these out real quick here. Just make sure to pass them down the row as I pass them out. All right. Awesome. I'll let you guys finish passing those out here. I'm just going to start drawing here. All right, awesome. Does everybody have a piece of paper then? Everybody has an assignment? Okay, awesome. So, this is going to be your investigative report. So, this paper, you're going to write your first name and last name, last name, and you're going to write your period number. So, this is period 2. And then you're going to also write down the date that you are turning this in. So, this is the... What is today? Today is the 11th, or the 18th of November. All right. So, you'll write down your first name, last name, your period, and the period your period number, and then also the date, and that is all that you need in the top right. So, you are going to be prompted with these 3 phrases. So, for this first phrase, as you guys can see, these Ukrainian phrases are printed on the paper for you. So it is printed. What the investigator is going to say is going to be the Ukrainian phrases. So if I am the reporter, I am going to say to you in this first prompt, Привіт. Привіт. And I'll make sure to write these on the board again so that you guys can see how to pronounce them. So I'll write the phonetic spellings and everything. All right, so привіт. And then there will be these different lines on the paper for you to record what how your partner responds. So let me practice this with somebody. If anybody wants to volunteer, just raise your hand and we will work through this real quick here. This first question, or this first prompt. Yeah, Denise, yeah. All right, so Denise, thank you. So I am going to say to you, if I am the investigator and you are the person being interviewed, I'm going to say, Привіт. Привіt. Привіt, Denise. And what would you respond back to that with in English? Hello? Yeah, that's a good response. So even if it's a short response, that's perfectly okay. Hello is a perfectly good short response to that. If, for instance, she said, Hi, I like turtles. You would write that in the line there. And make sure to record what they say. Just make sure if you are the person being interviewed, keep your answers short so that people don't write a whole paragraph. That would be very nice. All right, so, привіт. And she said hello, so we write down hello. And that will be how we will fill in these different prompts. So the next prompt would be мене звати. Мене звати. So the reporter is going to give their name to the interviewee. So if, for instance, Daryl is interviewing Cheryl there, Daryl and Cheryl, welcome to the class, Daryl and Cheryl. So if Daryl is interviewing Cheryl, he's going to tell her мене звати Daryl, right? So Daryl, and you can just write Daryl in the English letters there. So мене звати Daryl, right? So then you would write Denise's response, or not Denise's response, I'm sorry, Cheryl's response back to that. So Cheryl's response, how would you respond to that, Cheryl? You would respond back with your name? Okay, perfect. So she said back, my name is Cheryl. So that would be how you guys would fill out the prompt, and this is just basically how the assignment's going to be laid out. So I will give you guys a few minutes to discuss amongst each other and make sure that you both fill out both sides. So whenever you're done interviewing the interviewee, you switch parts and have the interviewee interview you. So then the interviewee would say привіт and record what you respond back to, or record what the other person responds back with. So we are going to give you 7 minutes. I'll put the timer up on the board there, and I will go ahead and play a little bit of music so that you guys can have that discussion. I'll be walking around to help you guys, and I will also be asking questions after about what your partner responded with. So make sure that you listen carefully, okay? Awesome. All right. So I'll give you guys 7 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, guys, we're almost ready. There's about 30 seconds until your discussion should be over. You guys 30 more seconds. All right, conversation should be coming to an end in 5, 4, 3. Awesome. All right, did everybody get everything written down? Everybody had enough time for that? Okay, awesome. All right, so first group here. What I'm gonna ask you first. What was your partner's response to "Привет"? They said hello, and how are you? Awesome. What did you say back? How are you guys doing? Good? Good? Okay. Awesome. All right. Group number 2. What did what did your partner say to you with this prompt here when you said your name is? What did you say your name was? Menez Vate Cheryl. Awesome. All right, Cheryl. And then what did your partner say back to you? Menez Vate Daryl. Awesome. All right, good. Good. Sweet. So you guys are getting a good understanding of that. So part of why we're doing these exercises is so that you guys can practice your listening skills and also your speaking skills, so that you can get a good understanding of how these words are supposed to be pronounced, how you can get used to pronouncing them, because your mouth will be, you will train your tongue and your mouth to be able to make these different sounds as you learn the language. So the part of what you're also doing is learning to listen better, and also why you're recording down your partner's responses is to practice listening carefully and to be able to listen carefully to these different sounds. It can be, I don't know if you guys have ever had times when you're listening to a foreign language and it just sounds like a lot of garble, a lot of just noise, and it's really hard to understand them. So the part of listening that's very important is you're going to be able to the word I'm looking for is distinguish the different sounds in the words, and be able to pick out when certain words sound like other words, and then be able to contextualize that a lot better when you are able to listen better. And listening is something that people tend to lack in a lot, so that's going to be something that we are going to discuss a lot in this class. Is we are going to practice listening and speaking a lot with each other. It's one of the best parts of having a class like this is you guys will be able to practice very frequently with each other. So that's going to be very good, and it's going to be good for you guys to get to know each other as well. So finally, do pobачення, this group here. I'm going to pick you on the left there. What did your partner say to you when you said do pobачення? They said do pobачення back? Awesome. Did you write that in Ukrainian as well? Good, good. That's awesome. That's perfect. You could write it in Ukrainian, or if you wrote it in the phonetic spelling, if your partner said that to you, that is fine for today. But we will be focusing on learning these Ukrainian words and writing out the Ukrainian words as time goes on. Awesome. All right, so Daryl, what did Cheryl say to you when you said "Привіт"? She said "Привіт" back? Okay, awesome. All right, awesome. So how about this? I'm going to be the investigator here, and then I'll be interviewing one of you that I call on here. So I'll be calling on a few of you guys. So we'll go through this together here, all right? All right, so you back there in the second from the right. Yeah. Awesome. Привіт. 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 Мене звати пан Ліптрат. Your name is Brittany. Awesome, Brittany. Great. So, Brittany. Do побачення, Brittany. It was good talking to you. Good short talk. Awesome. All right, so that was basically just a very short exercise for you guys to practice discussing with each other and getting used to what these discussions will be like. Some of these discussions are going to be a little bit longer and more in depth, and some of them we won't necessarily need to record your partner's responses, but we will be practicing speech with each other, and there will be tests that we will be giving over time that will involve group peer-on-peer discussion as well. So it'll be important for you guys to master these skills. But we are now going to be moving on to the final part before you guys leave today. I know class is almost over. So we are going to be also discussing a little bit about, if you guys noticed on the back of your paper, and there is a backside. This is going to be your take-home assignment today, and we're going to have you write the Ukrainian translations to these different English words or phrases. So we have, hello, my name is blank, and goodbye. And then there will also be the Ukrainian translation next to it. And you will write the Ukrainian word or phrase next to it, translating the word in English or the phrase in English. So there will be these 3 different prompts, and then there will also be a few lines under those prompts with directions that say, list why it is important for you to know how to say hello in Ukrainian, or my name is blank in Ukrainian. And with these different prompts, we'll have 2 different lines, so I will want you to write at least 2 different responses to this, and then you will also, I'm going to ask you to try and get help from your housemates, your family, or anybody who's living with you in your house, your uncle, your aunt, your brother, your sister, any of those people, and get their opinions about why it's important for you to know phrases such as "Привіт," for you to know why it is important for you to know how to say hello. I did explain earlier one example you could write down with me if you want to, just copy this down, it helps you make connections. So it helps you make friends. It helps you get to know people. It helps you just introduce yourself to people in a way that is polite and also is going to make a Ukrainian interested in talking to you. If you're in Ukraine, they might not think about it as much. They might just wave hello, but that still is a connection that you can make with people that otherwise would be very difficult. Other than just a wave, you can also say "Привіт," and some people might not want to wave or might not be as social and want to have as much of a physical, happy, smiling interaction, but a very quick and kind "Привіт" is a good way to introduce yourself and is very polite. So there will be 3 different prompts on your paper, and I will want you guys to get help from any family members or household members in your house, and then record these on your paper, and make sure, again, to translate the Ukrainian word or phrase on to the side here, and I will want you to write it in the Ukrainian letters. So it is on the back of your paper, so if you are wondering how to write these on your paper, make sure to reference that on the front of your paper. So, for instance, this word here, we would write привіт. So, привіт in Ukrainian, and this would be one of the two different examples that we have of why it's important to know these phrases. So, that's going to be all today for our class, but we are going to meet back next time and discuss this a little bit. And we're also going to start our introduction into Ukrainian letters and some other Ukrainian phrases that are going to be important for the class as we go on. So, before you guys leave the class today, I want you guys to know that there is going to be an exit ticket. So, if you guys don't know what an exit ticket is, before you leave, I'm not going to let you leave until you say "Do побачення." So I'll say "Do побачення" to you, and you say "Do побачення" to me, okay? All right, does that sound like a deal? All right, awesome. So you guys can line up at the door now. Thanks for coming in. All right, class, remember, before you leave, you got to say "Do побачення," "Do побачення," all right? До побачення. До побачення. До побачення. Have a good day, guys. До побачення. До побачення. До побачення. Awesome, thank you. That was my teaching demonstration. I know it was really long, I'm sorry. Hope you enjoyed it.